Have you ever felt frustrated, overwhelmed, or stuck wasting time in admin instead of growing, leveraging, and scaling your business? Then this podcast is for you. Welcome to Delegate to Elevate, the podcast that's all about handing off what you don't need to do so you can focus on what you do best. So here's your host, Bonnie Schutz.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Delegate to Elevate, Get Shit Done. I'm your host, Bonnie Schutz, coming to you live. No, not live. I'm kidding. Live, coming to you today, not live, with another guest that is totally amazing and in a total new industry that I've not had on my show before. So please welcome Max, not Mac. What?
Hey.
See, I'm already starting, Max.
Mac the Knife.
Mac the Knife. Hey, thanks for going with me. It is Max L. Eckstein. He's the Chief Operating Officer with Chancho Brown, or CCB. That is so much easier. He had to school me how to say this. Literally, folks, it's spelled CIANCIO. I would never in a million years thought Chancho. Thank God I asked. So anyway, he's responsible for handling the overall day-to-day operations of the firm, further developing business, and realizing the firm's vision and overall strategic plan. Max is also a veteran business developer with years of experience helping business owners, professionals, and clients find their own success stories and build relationships. He firmly believes in giving back to the community. He has served on several boards and volunteered his time throughout the greater Colorado community. In his limited free time, what's free time? You'll likely find him outside. I mean, it's Colorado, folks. Skiing in the winter, mountaineering, which I had to look up because I had, even though I grew up here, I had to learn what it was. Running or on a bike in the summer. He also enjoys spending time with his family, including his daughter and twin boys. Love it. When not traveling with his Australian rules football teammates on the Denver Bulldogs. We'll have to learn more about that. Australian rules football. That's new to me. So hi, Max.
Hi.
Thanks for being here today. I appreciate you joining.
Well, thank you very much. Humbled to be here and to be on the show. So thanks so much.
You bet. So, this show is all about delegation, and that's a broad term in my mind. It means delegating literally to somebody else a task or a project, or it could be kind of figuratively, like where you delegate your mind to something new. I've talked to couples where they cross delegate to each other because one's good at something that the other one's not good at, and so we can go all different directions. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about Chancho Brown? I can't help it. I can't help myself.
CCB, just easier sometimes.
CCB, yeah, TRS is my company because Tandem Resource Solutions is really long and the website's really long, so I get that. Let me know a little bit more about you that I didn't already mention, and tell me about mountaineering and Australian rules football.
Sure. Yeah. So law firm is a litigation firm. So we do everything from family law to business litigation, commercial civil litigation, some personal injury and criminal work as well. Liquor licensing. So really hit kind of a full realm. We've got 3 offices here in Colorado and then 1 in Washington State. And so we really think of ourselves as a Colorado firm. The founders of the firm started here in kind of northern Denver and really have spent their time building relationships and been involved in the community, which is something that's really important to us as a law firm, as well as me personally. And so, we sit in probably over 40 some different boards with all of our folks. And it's just a good group of people that I just think is really, really neat to be part of.
Awesome.
Yeah, so my free time stuff is definitely outdoors. I'm originally from the flatlands of Iowa. I'm tired of driving through Nebraska, so here I am in Colorado, and love being outside, skiing, mountaineering, running, biking, whatever, to kind of get out and about. And now running kids back and forth to practices and other sporting activities of their own. So it's a neat new chapter in my life.
How old are your kiddos?
The boys will soon be 6, coming up here in July. Also, a shout out to you on I think what your 29th birthday, I believe is right,
Exactly.
coming
Yeah.
up here
Next
or
week,
next week. Yep.
29th
So,
birthday.
yep.
Yep. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, and here in July. And so, July 5th babies, close to
Aw. Yeah.
July 4th there.
Nice.
And then my daughter just turned 11 not all that long ago as well. So, yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. And what is Australian rules football?
Australian rules football, so not rugby. Let's just start
Okay. I
there.
don't know what rugby
They'll
is.
often
Okay.
confused with
Yeah.
larger field, kind of a big oval, sort of flows more
Okay.
like soccer, and has some sort of rugby or football kind of qualities to it. So
Okay.
move the ball for the most part by kicking. You can also do
Oh,
handballs, and then you kick through the goalposts. If you kick through the goalposts, you end up with 6 points. If you miss on the outside or it's touched by a hand, it is worth 1.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
very, very cool. And this podcast is international, and we're trending very well with the other countries that speak English. So, hello, Aussies. They can probably tell me more about it someday. They could put some notes in the comments for me and all our fans.
There we go. No, it's a great organization, and I would definitely say something. A little shout out for the Denver Bulldogs.
Okay.
That it is the easiest way to make 40 or 60 new friends. A very
Aw,
welcoming community of folks. A good way to kind of scratch that competitive itch, but also just a good social aspect for it as well. So,
I love
highly
that.
recommend to look at the Denver Bulldogs.
Very cool. So
Yeah,
I wanted to think about, like you mentioned something in introducing yourself here about being on boards. So I have spoken to guests in the past about delegating to a board. When
sure.
you are
Yeah.
maybe a solopreneur running a membership platform or something, and you're trying to think of the way to engage your members and grow your membership base, and other things, you delegate to a board. Now, in your capacity as a board member, do you go in just firmly on your legal prowess, or do you talk biz dev and all that kind of stuff as a person being delegated to for a board?
Yeah, so I think it really depends on the board itself and what is the reason that the board is set up,
We
and
talked a
I
little
think
bit
that
about
makes a big
Max's
difference. Oh, am I
internet being a
froze?
little spotty, so
Am I frozen in
we'll
time?
pretend like he's frozen here for a sec. We'll might have to pause and restart. Hopefully we'll get him back. Or we'll make this a two-parter.
We back.
We're back. Okay, I'm gonna
All
do a
right.
count. I'm gonna count
Sorry.
backwards and let you start back over. So
Yep.
I just asked you about being on the board, so
Yep.
I'll count back to 1. I tried to go with that. I just said we'll just pause and cut that part out. So 3, 2, 1.
So boards, I think it really depends on the board itself and what your role is there and what the board needs. So I think there's one aspect of being on a board that is maybe a board of advisors where you're actually helping out run the business, help the business owner think a little bit differently about what they are trying to solve for. And then I think there's the other side of boards where it is, yeah, it might be in a different advisory board setting, but it's more
Yeah.
about asking questions and trying to understand and maybe making connections or fundraising or in other
Yeah.
capacities. So it really depends. Obviously, there's the for-profit side and there's a nonprofit side there too. There's
True.
community pieces. But something that we often talk to business owners or just other service professionals about is like building that board. And I think
Yeah.
that board is super important for helping you think outside of the box, making sure that you have a different viewpoint from your own. But also sometimes there's a little bit of sitting down at that therapist couch and being able to
Yeah.
talk with somebody at your same level to say, these are things I'm going through. These are struggles that I'm having here internally. How are you dealing with it? And I think that's super important to have
Yeah.
that a group of other people that are professionals that understand and have been there and lived it as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. I have my power partners, I call them, that I
Uh
can
huh.
talk to about those kind of things. And funny enough, you and I were introduced through a client and friend of mine who has
Yeah.
also been on the show, folks. I don't remember the episode number, but he was introduced to me by Brian Curlin, a former guest of the show. And Brian just exudes all of that in himself
Absolutely.
too. So I knew I had to meet you because I know you're besties. You even work out together, I think.
Work out together early in the morning, and then Brian and I actually started a group called Summit Collective, and Summit
Yeah,
Collective is really about leadership, and it's about kind of having that board of people. It was something that he and
perfect.
I sought with our own pieces that were going on in our own lives with family members being sick and other things. And we just wanted to surround ourselves with really, really other good people. And we thought that
That's
was super
awesome.
important for us to make sure that we had kind of our own collective board and that we're
Yeah.
also able to go into communities and help out other communities and do service projects there. And then just grow as
Cool.
leaders at home as well as in business and within our own friendship. And
Love that.
yeah, it's been a great journey together. So
Yeah,
really, really
for
cool. Great guy.
sure. All right. So on your chief operating officer side of the firm, now you are an attorney as it stands. So
Oh,
when you're
just like me.
actually, when you're actually in it as the operating officer and keeping things flowing through the business, who have you delegated to, or have you outsourced parts of the business to help you keep it running smoothly?
Yeah, I mean, the most obvious one is we delegate some of our marketing and website work. We
Yep.
also do a lot of, have you heard this from some of the other podcasts, some of the finance and accounting piece, right? So
Yep.
I think that's one that gets obviously delegated to somebody with kind of a professional background that really
Right.
understands that and can give good knowledge. Trying to understand the tax code and everything that goes on with
Yeah.
that is ever changing would be a world's of work, and I'm more than happy to delegate that outside.
That's
It
good.
also brings in great experts, that are really,
Yeah.
really good in that. And so they can help advise you and think through other things that other industries are doing or other ways to think about things or
Yeah.
comp models or whatever that might be.
Right, right.
Um,
I mean, you're an intelligent guy, but you don't know everything.
well,
You're not good at
you
everything,
don't
are
know me
you?
that well if you think I'm intelligent, but that's
You are good at everything. I knew it.
I
No, I love just that. I talk a lot about self introspection and like,
yeah,
yeah, I could probably do this marketing thing. Let's save the company some money. I'll create some social media posts, whatever. Like you have so much spare time to do that.
right.
But sometimes when, let's say, you're a brand new firm, maybe you're a solo attorney that's thinking of getting a partner and building a bigger firm. What I've heard the most is in any solopreneurship, mostly, is bookkeeping and accounting is what
Yeah,
people delegate first. And you mentioned that spot on, aside from the marketing and the website or something like that. But
yeah.
um, what's on your blotter next for delegation, or what have you been thinking about, or what's coming up?
Well, I think internally the most important thing I would almost call it like empowering, and I think that's just really working with your employees, and so they're self motivated about what they're doing and what their job looks like, but
Right.
also they're getting the training and you're building and working on their strengths, and
Perfect.
so kind of using the Jim Collins, another Colorado native here.
Mm-hmm.
That you're using people and having them in the right seats in the bus,
Yep.
and so trying to make sure that find the right fit for people where they're excited about coming in to work, doing what they're doing. It is called work. That's the reason why we
It is
pay
work.
people, right?
It is a
Yes.
job. Yeah.
Yeah. We also all have Mondays, and so we can understand that
We
too.
sure
That you
do.
don't have to have every single day be perfect, but where they're at their highest and best use, and that we're empowering those
Uh-oh.
folks in
We're
the
going to
best
go
way
into a
possible.
pause here. Did we get him back?
Sorry
Nope.
for
That's
It's
okay.
all right.
We'll
I
go
don't know.
three,
I
two,
don't know
one
where we
again.
cut off. Yeah, I can usually see where you start to slow down, which I'm not sure if that means I'm slowing down.
It might.
Coming from lovely
We'll
Evergreen, this is what happens. We,
that's
so
now I have to try to remember what the heck we were talking about. Oh, you just talked about the people
just
in the
empowering
office.
people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's amazing. So empowering people is something I haven't talked much about in specifically, and that those that are being delegated to, like employees within your company, empowering them and making them own their worth and their work.
Yeah.
I just came up with that. Own your work and your worth. Is great to hear that you do that. And they can always improve. So do you offer like learning opportunities and
Yeah.
trainings and things like that as well?
Yeah, so I think there's a wide variety, and it's going to be different for everybody, right?
Sure.
So depending if you're an attorney, if you're paralegal, if you're in operations, if you're in customer service, client intake, it's all going
Right.
to be a little bit different skill set. And then what are the things that are, some of those SMART goals? We do quarterly meetings,
Good.
and we call them quarterly conversations because it's really
Okay.
should be something where
Way.
no, it's not. Well, it's not scary. It should be an opportunity for us to try to figure out what is the best thing for the employee. What are the
Hmm.
goals that they're trying to work on? What struggles are they having? Do they have everything that they need? And I think that's really important to make sure that those folks feel empowered, but they're working towards their goals because their goals are our goals. And if
I
they're not
love that.
happy at the firm, then we want to make sure that we can try to get that figured out as well as possible. We're not
I love the
perfect.
consciousness you put around that. Yeah, that the effort that you're putting around that, because so often employees, like coming from 30 years as an EA in corporate, and a whole lot of that didn't go on for me. And if I'm being honest,
Sure. Yeah.
that's why when I started my company, I wanted to create a company that I would have wanted to work for. And can I come to work for you? No, just kidding.
Yeah.
That's amazing though. No, I think the times are changing from my days back in the day. So I think if you were to actually, let me do this. Let me ask you. So before you worked for Chancho or CCB,
Yep.
what did you do before then?
Yes, I'll give you the short history of me. So I
Okay.
practiced law for some time. I worked at the University of Denver at Sturm Law School.
Mm,
I was there for some time as a director, and then I came out, and that is where I met some of the partners in a different iteration of the firm. That firm
mhm.
started to roll up firms and started to grow. Until that firm split, and there was then the entity of Chancho Brown.
Right.
I left and got into the accounting world a little bit, doing business
Mm,
development. Not a good fit for me. I think I knew that and they knew that, and we decided to part our ways. And I joined Forbes doing investment banking. So I did that for several
oh,
years
wow.
before, unfortunately, losing a mother to cancer and having twins,
Oh
and
my goodness.
this
What
little
a
thing called
whirlwind.
COVID. I don't know if anybody
Yeah.
remembers
Never
that
heard
at
of it.
all. Yeah, yeah. And so,
Yeah.
roughly 5 years ago now, which
Mm,
is hard to believe,
yeah.
I came back to the firm and joined some of the partners, and we really tried to hire good people and try to then kind of build a culture around that. Because as you know, you don't build a culture, you hire people, and they kind of develop the culture. And
Yes.
so,
That's a
um,
golden nugget, people. I'm so that's good.
yeah, I mean,
I
I
like to
think
pull
that,
what I call golden nuggets from these conversations that people can listen for me to say, because these are the things that you really need to take note of. So thank you for
yeah,
saying that. Hmm.
people I think are really the most important thing. If you always hire good folks with a good heart that have that it factor, whatever that it
Yeah,
factor is, you'll go far. You can develop people, and they can continue to go on, and maybe that's outside of your own organization,
right.
as well. But if they're a part of that, and you get to harness some of that energy and excitement and knowledge throughout time, then I think that that's how you build a good culture and a good group of people. And it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, right?
No kidding.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it definitely takes time. But no, I mean, investing in your people, whether they be employees, contractors, consultants, and it doesn't mean investing financially necessarily, but investing your time and
time.
your energy to build those relationships as we're doing right now, getting to know one another better,
Yeah.
because that's what it's all about. And I talk a lot about networking and the importance of it. And that was something I didn't do a lot of in the past because I didn't have
Sure.
to.
Yeah.
Until I went out on my own into this entrepreneurial world and learned quickly. I need to know some people. And so, that has been so fulfilling, just getting to know the people around here. And then sorry about your mother, by the way.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And
Yeah.
yeah, the reason I mention that as well is coming from adversity to find your place sounds like what you've done. I've also did the same. I've lost both parents, been through divorces, been through,
Yeah.
all the things. And then it made me a totally different person. And I think it's in the long run, it's done something special for you too. I just in my intuitiveness.
Mhm.
And that I think that's going to make you a better leader, a better person to work for and all that. And so I just want people to take that into consideration too. You could dwell on all the bad things that have happened to you in your life. And life does super intertwine with business, unfortunately, because we all got to make a
Yeah.
living.
Well, I think
But
that was something, back in the day that was very bifurcated, right? And
yeah,
today, I think that we have a little bit more of the self-realization of that
yes,
what's happening at home is going to definitely, help out here. And
yeah,
we're a younger firm, and so there's a lot of people with kids and other things going on and
yeah,
practices to go to and whatnot. And so
yep,
we want to make sure that we um, focus in on our clients and do the right thing for our clients and zealously advocate for them, obviously. We
yeah,
also want to be make sure that our employees get the time off and have the mental health breaks
oh,
and able to do the things they need to do to be at their highest and best. And so,
yeah.
as we
Yeah,
talk about
that's something I
adversity,
could ask you too. You mentioned
yeah.
that weird thing called COVID. Like, how did that go for your business? Where did your people work from home? Did they come in now and then? How did that happen? How did that work?
Yeah, I mean, we quite literally we were very lucky that we were set up pretty well through tech, and
Good.
so a shout out to another delegation side of having IT and having a good IT
Yes.
group that like was
Go
there,
techies.
for us to make sure that we were in good shape. And
Mhm.
so really everybody came in on a Monday, grabbed their laptops and screens and headed home, and allowed us to probably at that time, our sort of our 5-year goals of what we want to do with the firm, we sort of just flipped those on his head and said, let's really work on foundational, processes and principles and try to kind of build a good firm because we have that opportunity to do so when things are changing in the world,
Yeah.
and it gave us a good time to kind of have some good introspection. And you've got to continue to do that. You don't just do that
Yeah.
once, but you
Yeah.
have to make sure that you kind of go spend some time on
Grow
that.
from that adversity,
Yeah,
like, and you did, and you did, and I think a lot of people did. I know I did, and thought of I mean, we were already remote before remote was cool.
yeah,
But I definitely have grown since I left my corporate situation.
yeah, yeah.
Situationship, they call it these days. Since I left that, I've done a lot of good, I think, too, and I think you and I are a lot of mano y mano here with really respecting our people and ourselves and our family lives and the adversity and the things we go through in building our businesses and making them better and making them a place that people want to work for or support in, externally or whatever it is. Um, if were a couple of golden nuggets or little truth bombs or anything you'd like as a takeaway for our listeners today, if you had like two of them you could share today to make them feel better about
Just two.
delegation, outsourcing, whatever that is, what might
Yeah.
those be?
Um, Control what you can control.
Mm,
Understand that you've got to let some things go and that there's some pieces that you can't control, but you can
yeah.
control your reaction to those.
Mm,
And so I think thinking through that and just controlling, what you can, and understand that the client or the situation or whatever can be used as an opportunity, and you can grow from that, and you can grow from how you react to it. I think would
mm.
probably be first and foremost.
Definitely golden.
Um,
Drop.
yeah, yeah. So, man, I don't know. I think of like so many ones that I use like the day to day.
Yeah.
Winning matters. I
Yeah.
do think that winning matters, and
Okay.
that's kind of a Navy SEAL like ethos. Of
Okay.
that actually does matter, and I think that um, participation trophies and everything. I mean, I'm sure that I could get a lot of hate email,
Get
probably
a
on
lot of
that.
F-bombs from those. That's
Yeah,
how I
yeah.
feel about
But
participation trophies.
I think that winning does matter, and I think that
I
being
like
okay
that.
with wanting to have a winning mentality and working hard.
Ooh.
Another one that I use quite a bit is embrace the suck, and I think that
Yeah.
embracing the
That's
suck
awesome.
sometimes means that you gotta understand that life is messy and it's hard, and you've got to embrace that, and again use that as an opportunity to lean into that and try to grow.
Definitely
I've
gonna
got a
quote down the embrace the suck, just saying.
yeah, yeah. I've got a patch on a jacket that I use an awful lot for backcountry skiing, and there's days that it's early in the morning and it's cold or it's hard and
Yeah.
whatever, but you're outside and you're enjoying it and you're getting a workout in and like embracing that. Sometimes
Awesome.
you don't just get to do the thing and be great at it. You've got
And
to. It's all
nothing's
the work.
ever
Yeah.
instantly easy. Yeah.
That's right. You got
Yeah.
to put in the work a lot of times in the background when no one else is watching and doing the right thing. And I think that's something that As a leader, if you show that, then others will do that same thing. And I think that that's an ethos that people can, kind of live their lives by.
That's that lead by example thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, for
definitely.
sure.
Yeah.
The last one is there's no finish line. I got a old Nike
I think we
poster.
froze.
You might froze. All right,
We'll cut that freeze out when he comes back. Hopefully.
Your VAs are having a good time having to try
There
to
he
deal
is.
with this. Sorry.
Okay. We'll do a 3, 2, 1 again.
Yeah.
I forgot. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
The last one I would say is an old Nike poster that I still have hanging up my wall. It's actually framed at this point. And it says there is no finish line. And it's just a mountain scene with a person running in the middle of nowhere and just running. And I just think that is a good life lesson, that there is no finish line. We
cool.
get to think about life and do the things, and we have those opportunities to control where we want to go and what we want to do. We've got to make those conscious decisions. Don't go through life just being a leaf blown in the breeze. Make those decisions, set good goals for yourself. If you're in a bad situation, get out of it. If you're in a good situation, lean into it. If you're unhappy with your life, go change it. That's all up to you. So,
right. I love that. No, those are great. I thought you were going to say just do it, but
then we'd get this whole thing sued. But it would be maybe great
just
publicity.
do it. Just
I don't
get
know.
my stuff done. Just do it. There are people that do say that. I'm just saying that's not probably the best way to lead, but just do it doesn't usually work. Just don't do that.
Yeah, sometimes you need to pause and think about the things before just doing it. So
I love the no finish line, though. I do love the no finish line. So that we are not going to finish, but we're going to finish the podcast. That seems like a good way to close out, right? We're not really finishing. We're going to let you people ponder all these things, all these golden nuggets that Max has dropped for us today. I want to thank you so much for coming today. I really, really appreciate you being on the show.
Yeah, thank you for
and taking
having
the
me.
time. Time is money. And so I appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, time's the one thing that we all have in common, right? We all have 24 hours in a day. How do we want to spend that? Who do we want to spend it with? What do we want to do? And so I think, use that wisely and work on your time management. It's not a yes, as one of my friends would say. It's a help out. So
exactly. Yeah. Perfect.
Exactly.
Yes. Hell yes. I love it, Max. Thank you so much again. And folks, please subscribe and share this podcast with your friends and your colleagues, because there are so many good guests on this. I'm just patting my own back for the people I know.
Not to mention a pretty darn good host as well.
Oh, thank you so much. I think I've found my zone of genius. I don't know. It's kind of fun. I'm really loving this thing, and I'm going to keep it going for as long as I can. There's no finish line.
That's right. Let's go finish line. Yeah.
Have a great day, everyone. Leave us a comment. Send me a DM if you want to hear more from Max, and we'll ask him back. You never know. He might come back. If you have a subject or something else you want him to dig deeper into, we'll have him mountaineer us a little. A little something or other to talk about. So have a wonderful day, and you too, Max, and keep on keeping on. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
You bet. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
So that's it for today's episode of Delegate to Elevate. Head on over to Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen and subscribe to the show. One lucky listener every single week that posts a review on Apple Podcasts or iTunes will win a chance in the grand prize drawing to win a $15,000 private VIP day with Bonnie herself. Be sure to head on over to delegatetoelevatepodcast.com. That's with the number 2. And pick up a free copy of Bonnie's gift and join us on the next episode.